Hello, welcome to your league CFM Fire Five. It's what you guys been waiting for. You've been waiting to see your offense, your defense, and your team's top five, and let me talk about them. This is your host, Culls, aka the Falcons. Just going to be me today, but we're going to go over some of our league transactions. We're going to go over our top five offenses, top five defenses, and our top five teams. And just so you guys know, we did change up how we were going to be doing our testing for the top five offenses and the defenses. We're not going to go based off of just yards. We're going to go off our red zone efficiency, how often you can get to that red zone, your interceptions, your sacks, all that. So all that is now going to be manufactured into how we're doing our rankings going forward, just because it makes it more fair, because some people allow a lot of yards, but they're not allowing a lot of points. So with these new rankings, I think you guys are going to like them. And the trade deadline was this week. It's week 8. Where it was week 8, we just simulated until week 9. But now we're going forward, and I just want to talk about a little bit of what I saw go on throughout the league this week. I know that there was going to be some league-breaking trades going forward, which that would have definitely broke what was going on. And I'm assuming you guys already heard about us losing our Giants user, aka Jaw. So unfortunately, he's not going to be part of our league anymore, not part of the podcasting thing else. And this Fire 5 was actually his idea, so I just would like to give him a shout out one more time for coming up with this idea of the Fire 5 and letting us carry on his legacy. But he quit because he wants to go back to YouTube. He wants to go back to 2K, recording 2K all the time, and streaming 2K. And I understand 2K is 180 gigabytes. You don't have time to keep re-downloading Madden and deleting Madden just to be able to re-download 2K. It probably takes about 4 or 5 hours just to be able to continue that, which is very time consuming. And having to re-download Madden every time you have to play a game and then someone bails out last minute, that must be getting very frustrating. So that's our little shout out to Jaw, aka the previous Giants user. But talking about some of these trades now that I would like to go over, we saw that Bobby Okereke was traded to the Browns with Mark Gleninsky for a second and DeJuan Jones. And then we did hear a lot of rumors about Tua being traded before the deadline, but Miami just couldn't get the deal done in time. So Tua's going to be staying in Miami, and Baker will not be the starting quarterback for Mr. Tyreek Hill. That's what the trade rumors was going to be. It was going to be that Baker Mayfield from the Patriots was going to be going down to Miami, and then Tua was going to be sent on over down to the Patriots. I apologize for that. So Tua's going to get sent to the Patriots out there in New England to take over his position, give the Patriots a brand new quarterback, which is very crazy to me because actually Baker Mayfield is second most in passing yards. I mean, he is also number one, setting unbreakable record with the amount of interceptions Baker Mayfield has thrown this season. He's just out there chucking that ball away. I'm surprised that he is still starting for the Patriots with, I believe I read it correctly, of 54 interceptions thrown. I don't think being the second most passing leader is worth all those interceptions. But going forward to the last and final trade that was absolutely crazy to me, but Chase Young at the deadline was traded to the Giants for the young edge rusher of Azeez Ojulari and a couple other people being sent out to New York, getting help for Saquon Barkley on that defensive side of the ball. But that was absolutely wild to me. I guess the 49ers just were not able to come up with a contract that would have made Chase Young happy and still have salary cap to be able to go forward with them keeping him in next season. So he went for Azeez Ojulari and some company. But going forward from that, I think we should talk about our guys. Everyone loves them. or you hate them if you're playing them. But we're going to start off with our offense this week. We're going to go with number one. It's going to be the Lions. I believe they were number one last week as well, or 2 weeks ago when we were able to last produce one of these videos. But Lions number one, Sam Laporta still being his number one guy. Then number two is going to be the Jets. He's up there now. Number three is going to be the 49ers. Number four is going to be the Chiefs. And number five is going to be the Jaguars. And then we're going to start off with defense. Number one this week is going to be the Panthers, like usual. And actually, the Panthers have allowed in week 8 the most points they have all season if you're only accumulating the games he's actually been able to play. So he's only allowed 21 points up the entire season for all the games he's played. And then ended up allowing 21 points up to the Texans. So the Texans has been the person to be able to score the most on the Panthers this season, which is very absurd to me, That was crazy to hear about that. The Panthers allowed that many points. But, going down to number two, we got the Jaguars. I think they deserve it. They are pretty up there with their interceptions and sack ratio. They're not allowing a lot of points per game. And then number three, we got the 49ers. I mean, they should have been on this list a long time ago, even though we were just doing it by yards. That's the only reason he wasn't making it. But he's leading in interceptions. He is second in. He will be second in our sacks, I believe, going out into week 8, coming from week 7. And then he might be allowing a lot of yards, but he's not allowing a lot of points. He's getting the ball. He's forcing turnovers. He just scores so often, being out there number 3 as well on offense. But going down to number 4, we have the Commanders. And then number 5, the Falcons. Bunch of teams that are getting a lot of turnovers. Just if only their offense could produce. But let's talk about your favorite guys. We're going to go down to number 1. He's leading right now. No debate unless we can see more out of the Panthers and actual gameplay. But we're going to start off with number 1, the 49ers, a.k.a. Agent. He's our lead commissioner here in the CFM franchise. And what else can I say about him? He's number 3 on defense, number 3 on offense. Pretty average guy, but he is undefeated. Who is also undefeated is going to be number 2, our Panthers user. One of the number 1 defenses. I think he's been leading defense since the beginning. Since the beginning, he's been leading our defenses. And then number 3 for a Fire Five, another undefeated guy, our Jaguars user. He's up there for our defensive category. He's number 5 in offense. It's hard to pass up on any of these, undefeated teams, and being able to be undefeated this far into the season is very great to see. But I know that there's going to be some tough matchups for some of these users, and it's going to be arguable who's in that number 1 spot, that number 2 spot, and that number 3 spot when some of these Fire Fives start to collide going later into the season. I know the 49ers and the Jaguars play later in the season, and so do the Panthers and the Jaguars. But going down to number 4 is going to be the Jets, another undefeated team. They are second on offense. You don't really see them up there on the defense yet. Hopefully we do. And then number 5, we have the Chicago Bears. He was able to make it back up there. He's 7-1. He might have taken a loss, which dropped him out a couple of weeks ago, but being able to come back and recuperate after that loss and build on it and get back up into this number 5 slot for the Fire Five after watching the Ravens drop out of it after taking back-to-back losses in week 7 and week 8. Very tragic for him. He even got out of our top 5 offenses just because he wasn't able to produce in those games. I think he was out of it, but hopefully we can see him get back up in here. And it was great being able to see everyone back up into our Fire Fives again. But I would like to thank you guys for watching. It was me, Culls, and we will catch you on the flip side.